rounding the corner into our next session, Cyber Pitch. This is the first time we're bringing something like this on, and we've been bold enough to try to do it online. Greg Wright is the founder of Hatch Pitch, and I've had the honor and privilege of knowing Greg for probably almost close to 15 years, and I won't steal his thunder. And he's got this 1 hour where he has promised to condense the whole pitch competition into. He's going to bring on judges. He's bringing on the pitch folks. So let's applaud him on and his team on. We're looking forward to a really lively pitch session. And then all the people that are viewing, looks like we've got almost across 3 different channels. We've got almost 100 people online right now. So we want you to participate. The chat's not been very chatty, but I really want to encourage everybody to participate in the judging.
Everybody in the audience can be a judge, which is a little bit unusual, but we like to do it that way. So Umesh, you want to talk about what made you decide to support us back in 2012 when we started out with this whole endeavor, not the cyber part, but the Hatch Pitch part. That was really awesome having you.
Well, I thought that Hatch Pitch was just a great idea. It was coming out of the Houston Technology Center. I was on the board of directors at the Houston Technology Center. We were trying to build an ecosystem and infrastructure and really build up innovation and startups. And so, I myself have been a startup 35 years ago. And then along the way, I've had a couple more startups and exits. And currently, I have another startup on my hand with my daughter's company, Reneka Digital. So she's doing great work. So I understand what it takes to start up. It's very, very hard. You've got to roll your sleeves up, access to capital, access to customers, access to cash. But, you've got to be able to have the idea, and then you've got to be able to execute the idea. And what you were doing at that time was you were way ahead of your time, and really enjoyed what you were doing through the Houston Technology Center, and got involved with supporting the initial batch of entrants that you had. And then you grew it and you took it to South by Southwest. And I remember sitting over there as one of your judges one year and was just blown away with the big lines that you had for people trying to get into the Hatch Pitch competition. Yeah. So that's, and you and I have been talking about putting a lens of cybersecurity on for the last few years. So I'm really excited that you are pulling that off for us.
Absolutely. Well, it's great that we're doing it. And as you say, we're doing it virtually, but that's actually probably right up the street of everything to do with cyber. So that's awesome. So let me just start off by saying the Cyber Pitch competition is for startups with digital solutions to cybersecurity, privacy, and safety problems. As Umesh mentioned, Hatch Pitch is the organizer. We're a global community for startups using information technology to make life better. And so we were one of the first events at South by Southwest Startup Village in 2012. And we've become known as one of the top pitch competitions in the US, which is really cool. Hatch Pitch finalists have raised collectively over $380 million. And there's been 11 of them enjoyed an exit. Now, I will say, I think that's about a year-old figure, so that's probably got a lot more since then. Just want to talk about the team. So Hatch is run by a dedicated group of volunteers from around the US. All in all, behind the scenes, you will see just a few of us, but there are probably over 30 volunteers who operate and promote the program and are sitting behind the scenes doing various things, and including the judges. In fact, just the judging team today, the official judging team is somewhere up in the 20s or 30s people. So thanks to them. I want to just bring up, if we can bring up a slide of my immediate organizing team. So this is a team that is basically put up this event today. This is, we've been working on this for nearly a year. although, we kind of shut down for quite a while, and then we suddenly jumped back into it. So thanks so much to Mariam. You've kept me going ever since 2012 when you were involved. Tejas, who's behind the scene playing with the slides and things, and Josh, who's the main person to blame for selecting the teams, and he's going to be handling a lot of the judging behind the scenes. So thanks, guys. Let's do this. Another major part of what makes Hatch Pitch very special is our coaches. Each of the teams today have spent just a short amount of time, maybe 2 or 3 sessions with one of our coaches. I'm really happy that our community with such awesome talent is willing to spend their time and their expertise to help these teams. So you've got Brian McQuarrie, Paula Machado, Katie Baker, Jake McKee, as well as Mark Strike, who are our coaches for the teams today. Thank you guys so much. You do such an awesome job. I'll just say the names of the finalists. If you want to go quickly find out a little bit more about the finalists, you can go and look on the website for hatchpitch.com, hatchpitch.com, and you can see everything about the event there right on the homepage today. But what we've got is, to say it correctly, we've got a company called Paqt from Toronto in Canada. We have PixoAnalytics is all the way from Bonn, Germany, and they want us to hurry this event along because it's getting close to midnight for those guys right now. And then we've got Rainbow Secure from Old Bridge in New Jersey. So we're looking forward to seeing those guys pitch. I want to talk a little bit about our judges. So as I mentioned, our judging panel is just about 20 or 30 strong today. Many others can jump in and they are able to judge. So right now we're going to be seeing some of our returning judges. So I know that we've got Rahul Sood, who's the founder of Microsoft Ventures, and he went off and started his own company, Unicorn. We've also got Steve Forte, Katie Baker, and we've got Ben Wilson from Google, who are coming back to us. And I want to introduce a number of new judges, actually quite a number of new judges today, and some of them I'm going to pick out because there's a long list, but Jain is joining us. She'll be on air. Thor Schuler from Avanade. Hey, Thor, good to see you. And Roger Casals. Thanks, you guys, for joining us for the first time at a Hatch Pitch competition today. So we look forward to that. Now, the MC is really who holds the entire show together. And we've had some awesome MCs who've guided Hatch Pitch through from our start in 2012 all the way through today. One thing we do encourage is growth and diversity. For example, we like to bring back our finalists who've the winners and make them judges. And we apparently like to do the same with our NCs. So she is a digital strategist. She was a Hatch Pitch finalist in 2015. And she's returned every year since then to tell us a little bit more about the journey she's taking and where her startup went. And she has moderated our breakout panels at the live events. She writes books on cybercrime. And her latest book is coming out in just a few days. And so who better suited than to MC our very first cyber pitch competition? I want to introduce you to Kate Baucherel. So Kate, there you are, all the way across from the UK, and you're streaming to us live. Welcome.
I am. Thanks, Greg. I hope you can hear me loud and clear from across the pond.
Yeah, it's sounding real good.
Fantastic. It's really great to be here once again. As Greg said, I'm Kate Baucherel. I'm an author, and in the serious side of my work, I'm a digital strategist. And that is to say that I look at the problems of businesses that I'm working with, and I look at those through the lens of a 30-year career and a background in chartered management accountancy, of all things. And I look at the strategies for using emerging technologies and traditional technologies to solve those problems. I actually specialize in blockchain and cryptocurrency in consulting. And I had a book, Blockchain Hurricane, The Origins, Applications and Future of Blockchain and Cryptocurrency, that came out in March. Yes, I was a finalist in Hatch Pitch in 2015. The competition is all a blur. There are two things that really stand out. I remember the coaching beforehand was absolutely superb. It's one of the real strengths of being a Hatch Pitch finalist. And we were actually also social favourite that year, which was brilliant. In 2016, I went back to South by Southwest and called into Hatch Pitch to give them the news that the company I'd pitched the previous year had actually been bought by a larger tech firm, which was fantastic. And I've stayed in touch ever since, obviously with Hatch Pitch. But in that post-sale void after the company had been taken over, someone suggested that I write a book. They wanted to write a book about cybersecurity. And after a few lunches and dinners and coffees, my friend said, "Why don't you do it as fiction?" And I said, "Don't be silly, I can't write fiction." And he spent 8 months going, "Go on, go on, go on. Of course you can." And one morning I woke up and I wrote 300 words about a cyber attack. And I sent it to him and he said, "Yeah, that's good, keep writing." And several weeks later, I had 60,000 words and a publisher. And that was where the Sim Cavalier series was born. And that's now expanded now into 3 books. The third one comes out next Saturday on Halloween, in fact. In fact, the second one I only wrote because I'd left a body in the corridor at the end of the first one and I had to tidy it up. But now I'm really engaged with all my characters and I want to know what happens. So it's really exciting to suddenly have this huge amount of stories. And I mean, it is all still teaching people about cybercrime. At the core of the plots, there is always the human factor, the mistakes that we all make. You know, people fail to update their passwords and stolen login details change hands on shady marketplaces and faked public Wi-Fis trap the unwary and ransomware comes in and exploits legacy software. So it's all kind of things that are happening today, but pushed into the future. So I can have drones flying around and have my imagination work for me. But the big thing about presenting cyber crime as fiction is that good stories make a difference. Research actually shows that people learn and retain facts from stories, including facts that are actually untrue. So you have to be really careful about the stories that you tell. People sometimes, when they read stories, they will retain those facts as general knowledge. And so getting changes to behavior for good cybersecurity into fiction is a really good way of people retaining the information that they're given. And today here at Cyberpitch, we're going to hear some really great stories from our finalists. I am so looking forward to hearing from these guys, from Clocr, from Paqt, from PixoAnalytics, from Rainbow Secure. But we need your help to make this work. So these finalists need as much feedback as possible from you, the audience. So we will be giving you details of how to vote, and we'll be asking you to vote on all 4 pitches together. So you're going to rank them 1, 2, 3, 4. So please listen carefully to all of them, and you'll have the chance to give feedback each time on the pitches themselves, and we will pass that on to the finalists so that they get as much support as possible. If you want to ask questions during the pitches, please put those on wherever you're watching at the moment, on YouTube or on Facebook. We may not have time to go to all of the questions, but we will pass them on to the finalists, and that just builds on the coaching they've had and on the great experience that they're having with Cyberpitch. We will have around 10 minutes for each finalist. So 4 minutes thereabouts for their pitches and 6 minutes for feedback from our judges. And if we have time, questions from you as well that we'll be able to relate to them. We'll be voting on the crowd favorite. So that is really where you come in, and we will have the judging award as well, which will come up at 5 o'clock Houston time. And the really important thing is to get involved here. The audience is part of the pitch, is part of the experience, and so we're really looking forward to seeing what you're able to contribute. But we wouldn't be able to run this without the contribution of our amazing judges. So I would like to very briefly introduce our 3 judges for today, who will be putting our finalists on the spot. Rahul Sood, Jain, and Richard Munassi. If you could quickly introduce yourselves, and then we can move along to the first pitch. Rahul.
Hi, yeah, I'm Rahul Sood. I live in Seattle. I'm a longtime entrepreneur. As Greg mentioned, I was in Microsoft Ventures for some time, and I left Microsoft to start Unicorn. We are an esports betting company. I'm very big into cryptocurrency and online security. And being a regulated gambling company, we do care about security and managing our treasury as well.
Thanks, Rahul.
Thanks.
Sue.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jain. I've been in the industry for over 25 years, building and delivering innovative business solutions using technology and analytics that drive growth and profitability. I've led the ideation architecture through deployment of strategic initiatives and projects in retail, e-commerce, supply chain, and many other areas. And there's been a big focus on data privacy, security, and compliance, especially because the consumers trust us with their data. I'm very passionate about customer analytics in particular and building good user experiences using emerging technologies. I also have a key interest in cybersecurity, especially due to the growing volume of digital data in the whole world. I'm also associated with 1871 Technology Incubator in the Chicago area and its startups. I live in the Chicago area myself, and I'm really looking forward to hearing all the finalists today. Best of luck to all of you.
Thanks, Sue. Richard.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me today, Greg and the team, everyone at Hatch. I'm glad that I got the memo that the other judges got as well with the black shirts. I think that was very sharp for us all to match. I'm Dr. Richard Munassi, director at the Tampa Bay Wave Tech Accelerator in Tampa, where I currently am. I wear a couple of other hats as well. I'm the executive in residence for the University of Florida. I'm part of the team at NASA's iTech program, where we look for commercial technologies to bring into the space program. I've been a serial entrepreneur for about 12 years now. Couple of companies in the health tech side of things, got lucky with a few. I have a company that also builds software for hospital CFOs, and it's called Blackfin Technology Partners, and also Blackfin Venture Partners, where my business partner and I do investments from. The Tampa Bay Wave Tech Accelerator is a nonprofit tech accelerator in Tampa, focused on tech companies. We take zero equity from companies that come through our program, and we actually have an upcoming cybersecurity focused program that kicks off Q1 of next year with applications closing November 30th. That program is backed by multiple regional cybersecurity unicorns, including Nova4, as well as Cyber Florida, A-Line, Jabil, Ernst & Young, the list goes on and on. Very, very happy to be here. It's been a wonderful experience over the years engaging with the Hatch Pitch competition and the team. In fact, we've recruited companies from Hatch, Neuroflow being a recent winner at South by Southwest in 2018. They're doing great things. Greg, when you have a chance and you're ready, you should certainly catch up with them. They are moving quickly, just like many of the other great companies that you featured here in the competition. But thank you again, everyone. Really excited to be here and hear from these great companies.
Thank you very much, Richard. Right, on with the show. I would like to introduce our first finalist in CyberPitch 2020. Please welcome, from Clocr in Texas, we have Sree Chintala to tell us all about Clocr. Hi, Sree.
Hey, Kate, can you hear me?
Certainly can. The floor is yours.
Excellent, thank you. Hello, everyone. Meet Joe. He's a successful professional. That's his happy family. Joe is like us, a corporate type. Makes good money, invests in stocks, real estate, and so on. He takes care of the family, financials, investment, and so on. Unfortunately, life comes in the way. Joe becomes a statistic, and one of the thousands of people unfortunately die every day on the roads worldwide. Needless to say, the family is in shambles. While mourning the unexpected loss, Jain is forced to take control. Like most of us who are not prepared for unfortunate situations, she doesn't know where to start. And the impact that we would have on a family on unexpected situations is huge. The penalty that they pay is so much. We provide a solution that enables you to prepare for worst case scenarios. Hi, I'm Sree Chintala, CTO, co-founder of Clocr. We provide an all-in-one legacy planning and disbursement platform for cryptocurrency, for online accounts, and digital assets in general. So our core services include a power of attorney that enables your beneficiaries to have a legal access. That's the keyword, legal access to all your digital assets. We are first to market, and our user experience is excellent. We also provide password vault services. These services are complementary to password managers. We don't provide the services of password managers. However, you can store the master key in Clocr and make that legally pass on to your beneficiaries. And also cryptocurrency private keys, you can store that in Clocr. Now, our solution is built on RUFADA guidelines, which are the governing body that really regulates the digital assets and how they should be passed on to the beneficiaries. We also provide a very unique beneficiary dashboard, which is basically a shared with me feature. We only look. We have two angles, right? One, we look at us having our own beneficiaries. How about we as beneficiary for all other our family members who are counting on us to help them out in case of emergencies. We also are looking at providing online account closeouts to clean up our digital litter, being a responsible citizens. And we also have a patent pending multi-layered security. Our security protocol is built on IPFS and blockchain concepts. And what we do is we study your files, encrypt the pieces, and distribute them across multiple decentralized storage buckets. So essentially, we want to make sure that there is no single point of access to the full files. This resulted in a very interesting conversations with a lot of B2B companies we have been talking to. They were asking for, can we just get the security component? So we are evaluating to launch this as a separate spin-off and a separate team. It's called Assured Security. We can check the website out. Coming back to Clocr, looking at the competitive landscape, we offer a lot of services. There's a lot of point solutions in the industry. We're not Google Drive, we're not LegalZoom. We are a legacy planning platform for all and everything related to digital assets. The market potential is huge. I think there are about 2 billion Google Drive users around the world. Even if you carve out the upper middle class family, which is our target market, anywhere between 35 and 65 age groups, 200 million around the world, that is our target market. Even at an extremely conservative level, looking at the 1 million subscribers that we have, we can achieve 100 million ARR in 3 to 5 years. Now, we are looking at the B2B market space is our go-to-market strategy. We are really working with the financial planners, estate lawyers, and other verticals because we complement their services, and together we can really help families out. We have existing partnerships in place with the senior living, several senior living companies. SWS is being one of the large ones. Autumn Thrive is a wealth management company in India. We have 3 other offers. We are finalizing the contracts with a few other wealth management companies. Burns Law Firm is out of LA. We're working with them in extending it. We have ongoing active conversations with several organizations. We actually pivoted to digital estate space in January 20, and we launched our product a few weeks ago, seeing a healthy growth, and we have a long, healthy roadmap that we are targeting against. And we have seen a tremendous response within market space. In the last 4 or 5 weeks, actually, my co-founder, my daughter, is pitching on another UPitch competition right around the same time. So I ended up doing it here, coming out here. Be happy to be here. We have a very strong team that supports our vision, especially all the biz dev advisors we have is our senior living industry as well as the financial planning industry. With that, we enable you to protect and pass on your online accounts. Help us help our families be prepared.
Thank you, Sree. That was fantastic. It's a really necessary solution in this new time of digital assets. We'll move to questions from the judges. If you want to share specific slides to support your answers to the questions, we'd really love to see that, because I know a couple of people haven't been able to see the original slides. So we would love to see some of those again. Who would like to start with some questions? Sue, do you have a question for Sree? Over to you.
Very good pitch, Sree. Thank you. I have a few questions for you. And I have also looked at your website. There's a very good lot of information there. So interesting stuff. One question I have for you is that you mentioned that you are looking at about a 20% market adoption, which is pretty high and not easily achieved. So what's your strategy to achieve that?
Yeah, so we're actually even in the SAM, we are looking at a 0.5% market adoption here to even to get to the 100 million. However, our strategy is to work with the channel partners, financial planners, and senior living industry, as well as estate lawyers, because they do already have a targeted customers who are actively looking for solutions. And we have been told that the solutions that we are offering, they don't have access to today. So we are that's our go-to-market strategy, sir.
Okay, and one more question I have. You have also mentioned that you're planning to do across many countries. So how are you handling the legal requirements? Because the legal requirements across different countries is pretty different. And especially with a common platform and everything, how are you looking at the, both the technical aspect as well as the legal needs for it?
Yeah, that's a great question. Technical is easy, meaning we can stand up the technology in those respective countries to meet the geographical boundaries. Legal is actually a difficult one. So the RUFADA guidelines that we are complying against, these are all US-based regulations. I don't believe many of these countries have any regulations when it comes to digital assets, but the digital economy is boundaryless. Most people are outside the US that are consuming these services, and there are legal cases from Canada and UK where those families sued companies like Apple and so on, where because they are outside the boundary, the courts, it's a mess. It's going to take some time for this to evolve. So we are primarily catering to the US community for now, and we try to get into that space as we evolve.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thanks, Sree. Richard, I believe you have a question.
I do. So you had mentioned that you were partnering with financial planners as well as senior living facilities. So your end user is the actual customer. Walk me through that process, because that's multiple sales cycles.
Correct. So our end user is our end customer is the end user, basically. So sales cycles point of view, we work with the financial planners to make our solution available, and they have multiple options. Either they can take our solution and offer or bundle it to their pricing model, or they can refer our solution to the consumers. So that is why we're not directly targeting the end customers. We are working with the channel partners, and that's how we want to go.
Thank you, Rahul.
Yeah, so I apologize. I had no idea what you did because there was no deck being presented. So I just watched you talk, and then I went to your website just now. So I now looked over your website and now I get it.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's all right. I just for the other people that are pitching, it'd be good if you share your slides. What I was going to ask is, so basically, you're storing, you're letting your customers store all of their digital identities or assets on your cloud, and then when they pass or when they die, it gets transferred to their family in a legal manner. Is that right? Is that the idea?
That's correct. Yes.
Okay, then what's the difference between? So how does for example, if I have seed keys for wallets, and I have a bunch of Bitcoin, where does that get stored?
So again, our premise is more on the legal side of it. When in the crypto is we haven't enabled that yet, but our vision there is that we are looking at from the beneficiary management perspective. Let's say if you want to pass on your crypto private keys to a person, then you would be able to define them in our platform, and when something happens to you, the person who was designated will be able to claim the private keys, and we apply our sharding security on top of that. I hope it answers your question, at least portion of it.
No, so I guess it doesn't. The question I have is, so you have a private key, and you don't want to share that, via like an email, or you don't even want to put it on a cloud somewhere that can be hacked. Mm-hmm. It's usually stored in if you're good, you store it in a safe somewhere, or you store it physically somewhere, or you have it on a password management system that's peer-to-peer. It's not cloud-based. It can't be hacked. That sort of thing. So how?
Sure. So it's complementary to that. You can store it on our platform if you choose to, and then we apply our sharding technology. That's one way. The other way would be if you store it on a peer-to-peer network, then you would define those. How does your beneficiary access to those accounts? That is second. The third one is if you put your hardware or physical key in a lockbox, and you can provide those lockbox information in Clocr as well, and then that information can be passed on to your beneficiaries. All our premise with any of this would be a legal access to whoever you are passing on your digital assets to your beneficiaries.
I am so reluctant to say that, in fact, we are out of time. We have a raft of questions that have come in for you, Sree, and I know that the judges have other questions, but we'll make sure that feedback and those questions get to you after the contest. Thank you so much for your presentation today, and we are going to move on quickly now to our second contestant, our second finalist, which is from Germany. So they're even later in the evening than I am. Please welcome from PixoAnalytics, Ali. Are you there? Hi, Ali.
Yes. Can you hear me? Hi.
Certainly can. All yours.
Okay. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our presentation. We are PixoAnalytics, and we are preventing fraud with just a piece of paper. My name is Ali. I'm the co-founder and CEO of PixoAnalytics. Did you know that every paper has a unique fingerprint, like people? We developed a technology that we can read fingerprint of a blank sheet of paper. Each paper sheet is unique due to the natural process of its creation, like trees, like stripe of zebras, like everything else in the nature. And when a paper inspected deep enough, it is very similar to a barcode or a QR code. This structure allows us to create digital fingerprint of the paper. And the good thing with paper fingerprint is that it is unique. It is non-reproducible, and it is already there for free. We have created this unique technology that can distinguish two separate sheets of blank paper without any writing or label on them. Imagine if you can see fingerprint of any paper and nobody can cheat this fingerprint. You can authenticate everything in your life. There is a major problem in the world, and it's growing without a real solution. FTP market is expected to grow 100% in the next 3 years and expected to reach $64 billion US. Did you know that organized crime use stamps to generate cash, and they are cheating postal operators? We implemented our technology to solve fake reused postage stamp fraud problem in German Post. We have also identified that our technology can stop $600 million fraud per year only because of fake stamps. We are only the solution provider to solve this problem. USPS already disclosed that they are losing more than $130 million US per year only because of this problem. In our German Post implementation, we achieved very high detection rates based on computer vision, machine learning, and paper fingerprint. This allows a high revenue protection for the company without increasing operational costs. We also built the PixAI platform that detects criminal activities, clustering fake stamps, and brings visibility to operations. We are currently piloting this solution in 2 other European postal operators. Besides fake stamp detection, we are already piloting our technology in 3 more different use cases in Europe. In the first one, we are tracking and validating votes for government elections, which are sent per post these days. In the second one, we are using our technology for valuable document validation, such as invoice, driving license, IDs, passports. We believe that our technology and expertise can solve billion-dollar fraud problems worldwide in many other use cases. In addition to previous 3 use cases, we have identified another 2 use cases: fake medicine recognition and expensive art product validation. In both cases, we do not need to change or add anything to these products in production. We have extensive innovation and automation expertise from international companies like DHL, Amazon, Deloitte, Bosch, and Siemens. We also have strong network from international companies. Our technology and products already received very positive feedbacks from different executives. We need only a blank sheet of paper to reshape the fraud prevention industry. And we are looking for pilot projects in the US. We have everything ready to go. Thanks.
Fantastic. Ali, thank you so much. I'd like to bring our judges back in. Let me see. Who has the first question? Richard.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ali, for your presentation. Very interesting technology. I have a question, and I saw that it's actually echoed also in the comments too. Paper degrades over time. What happens over time? Will the fingerprint change?
In the paper, that fingerprint comes from its creation, so it doesn't change in the paper. But if you look at the paper, you can see different fingerprints in the different parts of the paper. So we always look at the a coordinate that we can always take a reference, and we can always look at the same part of the paper. So we can always create the same fingerprint from the paper, from the given paper.
And will
So
that one,
change.
like, sure. So let's say we have a string of blister packs, for example, for pharmaceuticals. You're going to have a example of one of the blister packs. So each single blister pack that's produced by that factory will have the same footprint or fingerprint?
No, they are all different fingerprints. If you look at them deep enough, you will see they are all different fingerprints.
Okay, thank you.
Rahul, Sood?
Yeah. What if the paper gets wet?
Yeah, good question. I received many times this question. So if it is like about 30% damage, still there is no problem. It is tested many times, but of course it can be scratched or it can be wet, that part. So in that case, if there is such risk in the operation, from one paper we can take more fingerprints, because each fingerprint is 128 bit. It doesn't take any space in the server or in the cloud.
And,
so we can take.
How do you read the fingerprint? What are you using to do that?
We are using. It's about 8 megapixel camera is enough to read the fingerprint under the right or under the convenient lighting condition. Here, more than camera resolution, I think lighting is more important.
So is it an app where a customer takes a picture? I'm trying to understand the scenario, how this works.
Yes, smartphone.
Camera.
Yes, and let me stop screen. Yeah, the slide I showed in the second slide, that fingerprint of the paper, it is taken by iPhone X smartphone, iPhone camera. So it is just a normal smartphone camera. If it is more than 8 megapixel, according to our test, it always works if it is the good lighting conditions.
Okay.
Sue?
Thank you, Kate. So yeah, thank you for that great pitch again, because it was very interesting to me, especially because I've done a lot of work in supply chain and also worked a lot with barcodes and things like that. And when I looked at your packages and how you were talking about it, that's very interesting. So a few questions that I have. One is with respect to your tech stack. So what is your tech stack currently? And also, how do you plan to address the scalability? Because the volume that you're talking about here, it's very unique, but it's also going to grow and it's going to be huge, especially if you're looking at across the world, right?
Yes.
So what is your current tech stack and how do you want to address that? And then I'll come to my next question.
Yes, that was our first challenge in DHL because they wanted to recognize the letters. And in only Germany, we have 18 billion letters per year. So that is our first challenge, and that's what we solved in order to solve their problem. And I can say we are only this technology provider can scale, because we do not compare picture to picture. We have a unique technology, can take this picture and then create 128-bit code from that fingerprint, and then we can scale easily. So that is where we have patent pending for. We have 6 patents pending, and they cover also this area. So that is one of the strongest part, that we can scale, because we come from DHL, and the first issue in DHL is the scale.
And are you using some AI-based technology, looking at your team and the AI scientists and everything that you have on board?
Yes, correct. We are also using to support what we see in the screen, such technologies, yes.
Okay.
Thanks, Ali. We are out of time once again with other questions stacking up, and we will transcribe what we can and pass them on. Thank you, Ali. We're moving on now to our third finalist. Please welcome from New Jersey, Rainbow Secure. Nehal, Mehta, are you there? Hello, Nehal.
Hello, I am Nehal, President and co-founder of Rainbow Secure. Nowadays, businesses are working mostly online. Protecting login, payments, data, and document is a priority. Let's talk about password. Everyone hates them, but everyone needs them. According to security guidelines, we have to create about 16-character complex password so we can have enough protection from breach. But still, some threats such as cyber frauds, automated attacks like scripting, keylogger, phishing, brute force attack, which are still big problem. One day, when my son was writing his name with different colors, that gave me idea to develop a better way to protect from all these threats. Here I present patented Rainbow Secure solution where you can pick any simple word like a password, apply color or style option to make it 80-character password string. Here we use easy to remember word, but it gives you a very strong login security. You can also use picture or biometric to enhance your security. We provide a developer plugin APIs for password, passwordless login, and multi-factor. Also, we offer tools like password vault, data and document vault, encryption tool. It makes you compliant with security regulation and guidelines like CMMC, ISO, NIST, CMMI, and others. We integrate with Active Directory and other identity platform. Also, we provide 24/7 AI monitoring, auditing log, and alerting. Rainbow Secure gives you CAPTCHA, login security, and anti-fraud protection in one solution. It also protects you against 10+ cyber attacks. It also forgives human mistakes like walk away from unlocked session or password reuse. It even suitable for kids, senior people with the dyslexia, colorblind. Our market is 400 million opportunity a year. We are starting with education and healthcare, and we will grow to work with defense and finance sector. Our team members have over 2 decades of solution design experience with finance, healthcare, government, and pharma industry. We also have advisor, cybersecurity expert, and risk management professional helping us in validation and fine-tuning our offerings. We launched Rainbow Secure API in May 2020, and we are graduating from Microsoft Cloud Acceleration Program. We are Microsoft certified ISV partner and listing on Microsoft App Stores and Marketplace. You can buy our plans together with your cloud and other purchase with Microsoft. At the end, Rainbow Secure solution where main focus is to reduce automated cyber attack, fraud, risk, liability of a business with the best user experience and best security. Join our mission to make user life easier and hackers' life harder. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was great. I'd love to bring our judges on. Who has the first question?
I can.
Oh.
Okay. So my question is, what is the difference between this and 1Password or LastPass?
Okay. 1Pass and LastPass, they are all a password manager, but we are not a password manager. We are password itself. You can say that currently we are using numbers, characters, and some special characters that make password stronger, but we added some formatting style to it, and that is give you extra multi-layer protection.
Okay, so might be better to have a table that explains the difference between 1Password, LastPass, and your product, because that doesn't answer my question, I don't think.
Okay, so password manager that store all the password, but on top of it, master password is again a big 24 character big string, or they maybe send you a one-time password. But we are password itself as a first factor. When you log in first time, at that time you can enter with color and style.
Okay, then my next question is, does that mean that the Facebook or Twitter or whatever has to integrate it on their end?
Yes. If they integrate it on their end, you can see some toolbar on top of it and just use it color and style with them.
Okay.
Sue, do you have a question? We have to keep these last two questions very short, please, Sue and Richard.
Yeah, so Nehal, great pitch. A quick question I have is, it looks like your service is built on Microsoft's Azure cloud. It's a cloud-based solution. So that means you're restricting this only to the Microsoft cloud. So let's say if I'm an AWS customer, can I still use your solution on there?
Yes, okay. It's like a platform independent. If someone wants to integrate in their on-premises or use any cloud platform, we are working with them.
And another thing was, you mentioned in your website, I saw that, talking about pre-built folders where I can migrate my documents, save those as well. Do I need to follow that specific folder structure you have? What if I want to take those structures, because each of us have our own type of structures, we want the ease of really that being managed and secured. How do you do that?
So you must be talking about our password and data and document vault. In that, we are very much flexible. Suppose some enterprise wants specific kind of folders, we are work with them when we are integrate and we build it there for them. We are custom built for them, and we are open for integration, like any kind of integrations.
And the security level that you're using from the cloud, is that of the highest level? Sorry, you're right.
Sorry, we only have time for one more question. Richard, I don't think you had a chance to ask yours.
I have. I just have a really quick question. This is a pretty heavy lift with regards to sales on the enterprise side. What traction do you have so far, and where are you really looking to go with this? Are you going after a specific vertical?
So currently, we are targeting our leads from education and healthcare sector. And as we grow, we are work with the defense and finance sector.
Okay, so right now, what is the current traction? Any customers yet, or just starting?
Yeah, we are following a leads in from education and healthcare sector.
Okay, thank you.
Fantastic. We are, gosh, time is running for us. A quick reminder here, if you can get to that link or use that QR code and give some feedback and rank our finalists. I'd like to welcome our final finalists to the screen, please. Thank you very much, Nehal. And now please welcome from Canada, we have Anatolii from Paqt.
Hello, everyone. Can you clearly hear me? Yep. So, hi, my name is Anatolii, and today we'll be talking about private, legally secure, and not time-consuming agreements. Let's think of Ben. Ben is a diligent entrepreneur who is always busy managing a communication with his customers, negotiating contracts, going back and forth on all of the legal documents. And he is, and always will be busy. Back in the day, he used a quill and a wax seal to stamp his agreements. Today, he's probably using some e-signatures and a bunch of scattered tools. And tomorrow, probably he would be using a different kind of a platform. Modern solution providers fail to understand that the agreement is a process and they provide just a piece of a puzzle, let's say only the signature, or they would resell you a template or open the window to exchange information back and forth. Because of that, Ben has settled for a weak process. He might expose himself to unnecessary legal risk, miss deadlines, and not get paid. This problem was quantified by Goldman Sachs to be equivalent to 5% of the annual revenue, and that doesn't even include negotiation expenditure. That's why if an agreement is a process, it needs a platform. And with digitalization and COVID and a constant push for efficiency, this is a much demanded solution. That's why we're building Paqt, the best-in-class agreement platform. It's a combination of a professional chat and a set of powerful tools which would help you along the deal-making process. We have a working MVP with some great features like bank-powered digital ID, best-in-class contract creation and negotiation process which would be intuitive, e-signatures, and future integrations with payment providers to cover the contract after you've executed it. How are we different from DocuSign, let's say? Well, we have a chat, which is the glue that connects the tools together in a holistic journey. Moreover, messages have legal power, and now just think of the flexibility. You could enter into an agreement by just chatting, or you could amend your contracts on the go. Moreover, you could download a document, or you can do a full extract of your chat history with all the parties, signatures, messages, this multi-dimensional bundle, which would serve as ultimate proof for record retention purposes or in case of a dispute. We also have thought through the smaller details, like flags and labels, and with future integrations, Houston, we believe that Paqt will become your business command center. The ultimate value we offer is a faster agreement cycle. Being on the negotiation stage or when you're closing the deal, we cover most of it without compromising legal security along the way because we have thought of the smaller compliance details. Our limited access beta is 2 to 3 months from being live. We are targeting small, medium-sized IT service providers, which develop games, let's say, or apps and websites, because they have a lot of NDAs, IP right transfers, master agreements, and project communication. From there, we'd be scaling to other frequent deal makers, industry agnostic, and targeting businesses who serve other businesses to launch the spiral of acquisition. We have priced Paqt at $10 per user per month for the basic package, and it will be a tiered subscription based on the usage. We have a brilliant team, a talented full-stack technologist with previous startup experience, a licensed lawyer, and a second-time founder with compliance experience. We have graduated from Founder Institute. Now we're part of the Legal Innovation Zone. We have early traction. 2 Canadian universities help us with legal research, and we're constantly developing new partners. We have phased out the development of Paqt from an MVP to a scalable solution with users and much more to come, like US-denominated smart contracts, legally binding chatbots, and blockchain stamps to prove the immutability of the sequence of your communication, signatures, and documents. Eventually, our goal is to make the process of entering into agreements enjoyable without compromising speed and legal security. Thank you, and strike deals with Paqt.
Thanks very much, Anatolii. I'd like to welcome our judges back. Who has the first question? Richard, do you have, because you've ended up last, you've had the shortest question, so go ahead.
That's okay. You had mentioned multiple different use cases, including freelancers. Where do you feel your quote unquote sweet spot will be?
So we believe that the sweet spot to start with would be for small teams of 5 to 10 people with a few salespeople, like a web development agency or the design and build shop that would create an application. They have a lot of legal documents and information flying back and forth with their customers, like NDAs, right? Or like IP right transfers, master agreements, schedules of work. And this is a big pain. And they have a lot of project-based communication, which means it's repetitive. That's why we believe that will be the ultimate first target. And from there, we'd be scaling to larger enterprises with in-house legal counsel that have a bunch of contracts for their legal documentation management.
Excellent. One more quick addition to that question. Have you had any talks with larger enterprises initially just due to the sales cycle?
We did have conversations with larger enterprises, specifically very big law firms. As we are a little bit preliminary, we're still developing a lot of the stuff on the go, but there is some proper interest. Also, a few broadcasting companies here in Canada.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Great pitch.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Rahul?
Yeah, sure. So it sounds like you're trying to solve the problem of too many applications and lost documents, and trying to consolidate into one area for running contracts and legal documents. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's a problem that I'd love to solve with my company, to be honest. Although I noticed that you cited some different things, email, Slack, that sort of thing. Those tools will never change. Like we're never going to lose. For example, my company, we're embedded in Docs. We use Slack. Like that's never going to change. So it might be good to find a way to integrate with them rather than sort of say that we're going to be all things to everybody. I think that's the part that worries me a little bit. Are you trying to be all things to everybody? Are you trying to replace them?
That's an amazing question. So we're not trying to replace Slack, because that's an intra-team communication tool, not meant for external communication with your vendors.
Although people do use it for external communication. They set up Slack channels. It's stupid, but they do, right?
Yes. So it's the product architecture is not very meant for that type of communication. It's an amazing tool. I like Slack myself, but we are meant for external outreach. That's why I don't believe that we would be replacing them. We definitely would be eating a chunk of the emails, because now you can move your communication on a more efficient platform. Surely emails are not going anywhere, and we're thinking of building this ramp between the behavior of people have now and how would they be potentially using Paqt with like add-ons to Chrome, potential signatures plus quick create of the document in Gmail to then drag them from there.
Okay, just another really quick question. Do you have funding right now? And if so, how much have you raised, and what is your next steps?
Sure, it was fully self-financed until now, and we're open to communicate pertaining to additional resource.
Interesting. Okay.
Sue, the last question goes to you.
Yeah, so my question is more with respect to your market penetration strategy. And also, it looks like a big chunk of your success is as to how many users obviously use it and the network effects, which really is going to drive its usage, right? You talked about reaching out to law firms and others, but how do you plan to penetrate the market? And also the handshakes with the other providers, especially if there is payments involved and other things, the tech stack and its handshake, how do you plan to do that as well?
Sure, thank you for your question. So we definitely have plans to start with frequent deal makers. We're hunting for those. We'll start with them first, even if it's a one-to-one basis communication. Let's say none of the market is connected and we have only 2 parties connected. They already gain a lot of value because their communication is more efficient. And if, let's say, per month they have 10 communication chunks, right? They already have optimized that. So, and then if suddenly one of their partners jump in, so that's how it'd be kind of growing the network. And we're targeting businesses that serve other businesses because if they like it, then they could, it kind of organically would be growing. Our approach is a product-led growth with having a crazy product that people would just adore, and then they would start sharing through word of mouth with others. We, of course, would then create pilot studies and scale them across paid and organic channels to boost the interest of lookalike businesses and lookalike deal makers. We have a lot of work that we've prepared during the summer when we were studying at the Founder Institute, and I would be glad to share more if this might be of interest.
Thank you.
And the tech stack, sorry, yeah, the tech stack, we have a lot of developed in-house, and then we'll be connecting tool by tool to provide even a more fulfilling experience.
Thank you, great pitch.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. We are very, very close to the end. We have a reminder here of our judging. Please get onto that link and give us as much feedback as possible. Please rank the 4 finalists so that we are able to award the crowd favorite for tonight. The judges are now going to go into a huddle off screen, probably on WhatsApp right now, and we will be back.
Well done to all of you. That was a very well done pitch. All of the pitches under such crazy circumstances. I wonder if we can just go through the 3. Well, we should have 4, but I'm going to start in the interim, and I want to give you guys just a few moments to introduce yourself, because after the fireside chat, we now have a audience that's got a few more people in it. And we're able to kind of give you the chance to just quickly say who you are. So again, what we're presenting here is the 15-second version of the format pitch from the 4 companies that presented at the Cyber Pitch between 3:30 and 4:30 today. Everybody in the audience had a chance to vote on this, and we got a good number of the audience, as well as all of our judges, providing the input to the scores. Good. I see we've got our final presenter is on. I'm going to give you guys 15 seconds each, just quickly go through, and why don't we do it in the order that you're on the screen right now. So let's just go back to back, one by one. We'll start with Anatolii and Paqt.
Hello, everyone. I'm Anatolii. Paqt is an agreement platform for frequent deal makers, and our goal is to make the process of entering into agreements enjoyable without compromising speed and legal security.
Awesome. Ali, go for it.
Hi, everybody. This is Ali from PixoAnalytics. We develop a technology to fingerprint every kind of paper or paper-like material to identify them and to track them, and also to prevent fraud. Thank you.
Great. Thanks. And Nehal, why don't you take over?
Hello, everyone. My name is Nehal. I am president co-founder of Rainbow Secure. We are trying to reduce business risk, liability, and solve problems like a cyber attack, cyber fraud. And we offer colorful, stylish, formatable developer plugin APIs for users, for user login, zero trust passwordless login, data security, and multi-factor verifications.
Great, thanks, Nehal. And let's switch over to Sree. Tell us about Clocr.
Hi, everyone. This is Sree Chintala, CTO, co-founder of Clocr. We are an all-in-one legacy planning platform for online accounts, cryptocurrency, digital assets. We enable you to protect and pass on your online accounts.
Great, thank you, thank you. So Kate, what are we going to do next year? Or what's our next event? Are we going to do a hatch pitch session in March alongside
Yes.
South by Southwest? I think we're going to do that.
Yes, traditional hatch pitch.
And I wish that it was going to be a in-person event, but I already
don't
know
think it's going to be. No, it'll be virtual.
we already know that it's
too
going to be
early.
virtual. So by then we will be extremely good at virtual.
Oh,
and
yes.
maybe we'll have the bigger boat. So I recommend everybody take a look at hatchpitch.com. Right now we're all about Cyber Pitch, and in a few days' time we will be all about Hatch Pitch 2021. And I know there's already hundreds of companies that have applied, but this is never too late. We haven't cut off the applications for Hatch Pitch 2021 just yet. So I noticed you guys all still sitting here, and I guess you're waiting to see who has won. So here's how this works. We have the entire audience is able to vote, and what they will generate is the audience favorite. And as Kate, I think you said you guys were the audience favorite one time.
Yes, we were.
Yes. So here we have that same one. And the audience favorite this year is going to Clocr. So Sree, this is the team that's made it to the audience favorite. And while we're about it, so we've got judge places next. So we have the on-screen judges. You saw the 3 on-screen judges earlier on. And behind the scenes, there are at least 20 or 30 judges that I counted. And a lot of them, in fact, we've got a ton of the judge results. And now the judge results generate third, second, and first place. And for third place, I'd like to bring back Sree, and it's Clocr again is in third place in the judge results. So everybody, huge cheer going up all around the audience here for Clocr as you take your third place again. And now we're moving into second place. So second place is where some awesome companies have come around. If Joseph Kopser is watching, that's the number that Ride Scout took just before they were bought about a year later by Mercedes-Benz. And Joseph has been back to Hatch Pitch multiple times after that. So I do expect that you're going to come back too. Ali of PixoAnalytics, who is in second place for the Cyber Pitch. Well done, Pixo. And then finally, we have the first place. And first place was in the very first Hatch Pitch competition was awarded to a cyber type company. It was Distill Networks back in 2012. And I know Rami has come back several times as one of our judges. And I would love to be able to do the same. For you, Anatolii of Paqt, you are the Cyber Pitch winner. So
great. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, all of you, for pitching. And thank you for the awesome work that you guys have done with your coaches. Hopefully you guys will stay in touch. And I want to see what Umesh has to say. I bet you he's sitting in the wings there going, Greg, you forgot to tell us about something. I know you're always more organized than I am. So what the heck did I forget to tell us about Hatch Pitch going forward?
Anything. You guys have been superior. So, and you brought together a bunch of young entrepreneurs and innovators. So this is a great inaugural session. Thank you so much for running this, and couldn't be prouder.
Great.
Thank you so much.